these guys. It don't make no sense to me. It really don't.
Maybe they were saying it because they knew that we weren't going to take Michael Penix. But the thing that's really, really baffling me is what happened with all the quarterback talk that you have to get a quarterback at all costs. And then all of a sudden, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders are 1-2. Now all of a sudden, it's go after the oldest quarterbacks that you could think of. So that's why I'm going to get to this little subject here with you. Let you talk your talk a little bit more. As you see right here, Mr. Rob Zero, right here in the X streets, as he call them, he says, I hope for the love of God that he goes there and we trade up to number 1 and have our choice of Sanders or Ward. I am good with either, but I lean Shedeur slightly. This is a reply to Mr. Doug Rush, who he says the Raiders have now emerged as a current front runner to acquire Matthew Stafford in a trade. So basically, I want you to tell us about the whole Matthew Stafford saga. What do you think that was done for? Did you think it was a good idea? Just give us the whole idea of the Giants were trying to trade for Matthew Stafford and quote unquote they were ready to sell their souls to get a 38-year-old Matthew Stafford coming off injuries and not having the best season this past season until it picked up towards the end of the season for him. And quote unquote give him over $110 million more dollars guaranteed and giving up multiple picks for a team that does not have a quarterback and needs draft picks. But go ahead, talk about that.
According to Rich Eisen, the Giants had everything in place. They had the draft compensation in place. They had the contract in place. Everything was good. Everything was agreeable. Matthew Stafford just said, no, I don't want to go there. He didn't want to come to us. And good for him. He shouldn't. At his age, like you were on the doorstep. He has a brain, doesn't he? You were on the doorstep of the conference championship game with a way better team. You best not come here. But look, I'm not gonna lie. When it first came out, I was like, okay, I was with it a little bit, and because for me, from my mindset, I wasn't thinking about them still not taking a quarterback if one was available. Mm-hmm. The more and more that I was talking with people, and other people had different opinions, that they thought that if they got Stafford, that they weren't going to take a quarterback. And yeah, you know what? That changed my opinion a little bit. I said, and so I kind of changed. And at that point I said, you know what? No, I don't want this because if that's going to be the case, then because I understood what they were saying, I don't want no parts of this. I don't, because to me, I'm not going to offer up draft compensation on top of giving this guy a contract. Right. That the dude's been toying around with retirement. He's still a top 10 quarterback, top 7 quarterback, right? It would be the best quarterback we've had on this roster since Eli left. But what if he comes here and then after 1 year he's like, I'm done. Now we're stuck in the same position we were just in. Now, I'll say this. I understand. I don't agree with it. But I understand why they did it. Because John Mara brought these guys back. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I gotta win. I gotta win. I gotta win games. And it's not every day that a Matthew Stafford is available. So I'm gonna try to get this dude. I understand it. I get it. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. And so I didn't want him because for me, I didn't want to be. I felt like it was just putting tape over a freaking leak in your a hole, and eventually it was just gonna bust. It wasn't gonna hold, and shit like that or whatever. Like I wanted no part of it, and so I wanted him to go. I wanted him to go to another team like the Raiders, like you saw in that, or go back to the Rams. I wanted him out of the possibility of the Giants getting him, right? A buddy that's that comes in my spaces all the time, said, he's like, I need them to be protected. So it's like you take a sharp object away from somebody that's in a mental hospital, and so it's like you gotta take the sharp objects away. So that was a friend Ask who said that, and I thought that was hilarious when he said that. That's not my joke, but he said that. I was like, man, that's actually kind of funny. He's like, I can't trust these guys. Take the metal objects away. They they can't be around
like
it.
Somebody I know. Yeah.
So it's like, so I didn't want it. Now you got
full episode on the Aboriginal Sports Network.